I've been using the Microsoft Surface Bluetooth keyboard for quite a long time now. As a previous Mac user, it felt like a home away from home, and after a few years of use, I actually ended up preferring it to the Mac one. But when iQunix reached out and asked if I wanted to try this one, I took one look at the colour, and well, here we are. Let's jump into it. This is the iQunix F96 wireless mechanical keyboard, and aside from a few Bluetooth issues, it's been an absolute joy to use. I love the way this thing looks. There's a range of colours on offer for this keyboard, but I opted for the Coral Sea, which fits the aesthetic of my office quite nicely. There are options on top of that too. You can go wired, wireless, RGB or no RGB, and to top it all off, you can select the switches too. The configuration I've got here is the Coral Sea, wireless, RGB with cherry red switches, and it makes for a really nice combo. It's built like an absolute tank as well. It's surprisingly heavy, so when you put this on a desk, it really isn't going anywhere, and the attention to detail across the whole keyboard is really, really nice. On the underside, there's built-in feet which hold it at a 6-degree angle, which feels just about right, a switch for wired or Bluetooth connection, and on the side is a USB-C input for the wire, which is always good to see. Another nice feature is the ability to connect this keyboard with up to 3 devices and seamlessly switch between them on the fly. In terms of RGB, there is quite a few different presets to choose from, which is really cool, but I've settled on a standard backlight, otherwise it's just a little bit too disco for me. Battery life has been pretty good. Obviously that's going to vary depending on how you use the keyboard. For me, I've been getting about 2 weeks of use between charges. That's with a wireless connection and with the backlight on all the time. I'm sure that can go up though if you have the backlight switched off, but I quite like having those lights on. Typing on the keyboard is really, really nice. Despite coming from such slim keyboards, it didn't take long for me to adjust to this style, and of course one of the best parts about switching is that wonderfully satisfying clack you get from mechanical keys. Because they're cherry red, they aren't overly loud like the blue switches, and you can type deep into the night without waking anybody up. The only thing that's been a little strange to get used to is how small the enter button is. Compared to a regular enter key, it's under half the size, and I do miss it quite a lot. I'm by no means a pro on mechanical keyboards though, and you can do lots to change this keyboard up. You can change out the keycaps, and you can take it apart and replace bits if you want to, but I'm probably just not going to do that. The only downside I've had to using this keyboard is the Bluetooth performance on my Windows 10 machine. I initially dealt with a lot of issues with the keyboard not working despite being connected, and it dropping connection if my PC went to sleep. However, it does seem like an isolated case. It turned out my PC was turning Bluetooth to sleep to save power, which I've since resolved. On my other devices such as my Mac and phone, I've had no issues at all, but I think it's worth mentioning. The big question is, can this keyboard replace the slimline ones that I've loved for a long time? And the simple answer to that is yes. I've actually really enjoyed using this keyboard, and it's been sitting on my desk ever since I got it, and for the foreseeable future, it's definitely going to stay there. It's by no means the cheapest keyboard out there. The one I have in this video will cost you around £180, but if you're looking for a really excellent wireless mechanical keyboard, then this one is definitely worth checking out at least. As mentioned, iQunix did send this keyboard out to me, but they didn't ask me to say anything specific, and they're seeing this video the same time as you are. So these are my genuine thoughts. If that's the sort of video you'd like to see more of, then do pop a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.